Oh, my video is on. Got cut off another one last night, but don't worry, that's okay. Doesn't matter what you do to me. Push me left, push me right, throw me down and pick me up again. Don't worry about it. I see things the same way. What am I out here to say? Well, I was just reading an article, and in the article it stated more or less, excuse me, I have to lift my glasses and find out where it is. Ah, yes. The Intel hub is where I'm getting this off. Obama martial law power grab. Now, I just came from the store, okay? And there are so many words that just flip you upside down and tell you a different story because the word law backwards says wall, okay? The word grab backwards says it's a barge, okay? The word marshal, okay, is used up in many terminologies. First of all, it can be used as the ram's horn, as half the word is ram backwards. And tial, you split the word up. Ti is actually saying secondary world of birth. And Al is the angel life that we are connected to through the law wall of the power. It's a rewop of a barge, which means power backwards. Rewop actually means ER is an emergency room, but it actually means angel resident of a POW camp. POW, power, grab, the law of martial law of Obama. Now, we all know that Obama came in here. We're not sure of his birthplace. Everybody says it's guaranteed Hawaii, but when somebody lies once, okay, they continue the story as its truth. So the rest of the story within the lie is all the truth of the lie. And in fact, if you take the whole thing and put it in a little circle, it's all a lie. Why somebody would want New World Order to take over this earth when we will die within less than 100 years of our life? Don't you know it? 2 years ago or 5 years ago, they keep putting out these new vaccines. Take this vaccine, take this vaccine. But all those kids taking the vaccine, okay, that are under the age of 50 and are still fertile and want to have children, what they add and what they create, okay, the HN, whatever it is, comes from another element which was already pre-treated by a company like, let's say, Monsanto's, GMOs, chemically changed stuff. Nothing is exactly the way it is. It always goes a step further, and it grows inside of us, right into our blood for the rest of our life. And yes, that's what causes cancer. It's a new gene. It's an what they call an uninhibited gene. It's a created gene within a gene, and it goes into your body. They give you a needle. You don't need any needles, okay? I don't need any war. You know what? If Japan or Russia or anybody's going to throw a bomb to Canada, well, if Canada's got their space network out properly, they see it coming in the air, they shoot out a missile, they blow up the bomb. Now we start to think. I haven't seen any bombs. We're fighting based on childness. That's what it's all it is. Coney is a child thing. It's a one-man army, never really heard of, pushed on over years and years. And Coney, Mahoney, where they got the Coney from? Mahoney. It's all set up. Even if he's real, he's not real. What they're doing is his basis to move into, where's Coney? Uganda. Well, okay, we'll get into Uganda. Wait, move to Africa. Did he move near the oil? Yeah, move near the oil. Okay, we'll have to take over the oil and protect it now because just in case. But don't you know that America has enough oil? They have enough oil for a long time. And so does Canada. They don't want to use their oil. Do you know why? Because when they go to war, they won't be able to go anywhere to get the oil. For their own country, I'm talking. Yes, when they go to war, will they be able to use the Iraqi oil, the Iranian oil, the Suez oil? I don't know. There's so many oils out there. You know what I say? I say if somebody wants to build a bomb, let them build a bomb. But to go out and to provoke somebody to send that bomb out to where we live, why provoke them? They haven't sent it yet. 911 was 11 years ago. That's a long time for people to wait to come back and have a fight. Yeah, I'm mad at you 11 years later. It don't take 11 years to prepare. The Americans in 2001, boom, boom, bang, they were out there and doing their shit. You know why they were doing the shit? Because they didn't care what anybody says. And then they go out and they say, we got to be good to the children. Watch out for the children on the street. But the soldiers are taught to win. They're taught to win. They're taught to win. They're taught to win. You cannot lose. You must win. I'll give you. The sergeants are giving everybody incentives. You don't need an incentive. When you go to war and the truth is there, you do not need an incentive. Who am I? 900 videos, 1,000 videos I have done. What incentive do I have? I have the incentive of bringing peace among the people. That's the only incentive. I don't care if you do cocaine. I don't care if you sniff those lines. I don't care if you eat a 20-ounce T-boy steak because you can afford it. I don't care that you have a boat because you have the money to be able to pay for that boat. Okay? I don't care that you are driving the Mercedes-Benz, Benz, the ends. Read that backwards. Mercedes, you ever see the sign? It's all 120 degrees in between the lines. 888. That's what it stands for. Mercedes is independence. Okay? So whoever makes Mercedes, it stands for 888. Do you know why? There's 3 marks. There's 24 hours in a day. There's 360 degrees around. If it was to the hours a day, it's 888. If it had anything to do with the degrees, it happens to be 120, 120, 120, 120, and 120. Okay, I think it's the days of the week or the months of the year, just the first initial letters add up to a total of 120, which means 12 in the X world, which actually sits on top of your clock with a 1 and a 2, because it's going from the 1 spirit world into the 2 world, okay, the beta world. So your clock actually splits this way, and the arms go this way. Actually, this is what you call the 1-9, okay? This is what you call the 3-7. You could also call it 3-3, but when it's on the lower level, it's a 7. If that would be moved up here, it'd be called a 3. It's not me. 75% of the information or any words that I get out, okay, is all from theories based on creation, what man created. When he made this dice, right, why didn't he take the 6 and turn it this way on the dice? They did, but they didn't. You know why? I'm going to show you something. When you turn around, you see that 2 up in this corner here? Well, it touches the other 2 in this corner. They connect, okay? The center, okay, if you really want to see. Can I do that right? They connect. It's all short sticks, just like short line railway inside the Monopoly game. Another thing I wanted to talk about, okay, they're going to make you go to war. And if you don't go to war, this is how the vision goes. They don't go in you and take 1 billion of you and say, go. One at a time, they force to go. You got to go. You got to draw. Once they see there's only a maximum level, they force people. Once they get you on that line, you become a guerrilla group. You become the Americans' guerrillas. That's the way it works. When somebody forces you, you're a guerrilla. It's almost like saying, hey, we are all American conies. Because that's what they're turning America into right now. The government wants everybody to go to war. So the government is Coney, and all the people are the children. And we're the children of God. And the government is just like Coney. There is no war. We provoke it, and then they come, and when something happens here, we blame it on them again when it's all us. How would you like if I shoved a stick up your ass every single day for the rest of your life? And when that stick comes out, you turn around and with a big machete and whoosh, your head falls off. But in self-protection in the USA right now, they got to go like this. His head fell off. Why did he do that? He wasn't really hurt. He was protecting himself. Whether the guy killed, guy broke a leg, it didn't matter how it happened. It was self-protection. That's the way it works. And that's what they teach you in the army. That's one of the clicks to get away from, oh my God, should I have done it? They don't want you to think too long in the army. Because if you think too long and there's a man with a gun in front of you, by the time you finish thinking, poof, you're gone. In this world, okay, I don't know about any of you, but when I'm born, and I was born 48 years ago, in less than half more of my age, okay, My age right now is half plus God, which means 48 and 24, which actually means man, heaven, spirit, the creation and the passage of Uncle Sam. Do you know what Sam means? Spirit, angel, man. 1, 4, and 6 on the dice. Spirit. Where is that 4? 4 has disappeared. Ah, there it is. Angel. And why is man 6? Because man gets connected to two sides. This is the way it works. 1, 2, 3. Skip an area. 1, 2, 3. There is no more than 6 dots on any of these dice, because there's no more than 2 in a row. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But you cannot use any more combinations than either a triangular cross, which is the star key on your telephone. But anyways, I'm getting offline. So now, if they don't, if the people in America under the age of whatever age it is to put into the army don't want to go to the army, they'll lock you up. And they don't care. You know why? Because they got FEMA camps all over the place. And you ain't no good to them anyway, so they'll shove you in a FEMA camp, and a bunch from them, they'll knock them off. And they don't care who they kill, because it makes no difference. The thing is, we have a problem in this world right now. And the big problem is us. There's too many of us that pose a threat to stopping the way we want to see peace. So if they don't like the way we want to see peace and they're the government, well, they can do what they want. But wait, there's a question. How did government begin? How did it all start? If you want to fix it, you must go back to the beginning. Then we have to go through the sessions of, what do we need in this world? We need the hospitals. Who pays? We need the doctors. Who pays? We need the medication. Who pays? We need the syringes and needles and everything else that goes in the hospital. Who pays? Now we need all the medication. Who makes it? Who decides on what is made and who verifies this? Okay? We live as one. Okay? We should be as one. Now here's my formation. Okay? And I didn't go over this and I'm not going over it, but I'm going to tell you right now. They came out online and said in order for a family to live, they need to get $892 each. Okay, but I took it one step further and I made it global. I didn't break it down. If everybody wants me to break it down, I'll have to do it one city, small, and then break it out. Okay, so it stands like this. Are you ready? I'm not, because I forgot. That easy, that it's good that I can forget? Yes. This is the way it works. We need organization amongst ourselves to create not the notion, but the truth within the notion of how things should be set up, not for one, but for all. So this is the basic one strategy that I came up with. Every man, woman, and child who is living, okay, I'm just talking North American Canada, every man, woman, and child that's living in North American Canada should receive, okay, each week a check for $492 clear after taxes. Man, woman, and child, up to 2 children. After that, each children will get a minimal. One of the reasons for that is because the clothes from the 2 children, from the first child, is passed down to the second child. So right away we're saving. The minute we get from 1 child to 2 childs to 3, we are saving on everything but love. We're saving everything from love. We're using up more space. It costs us more food. So we just need basically the minimum for the 3rd child. So if you're 3 in the family, that means you're making $1,500 a week. Not bad. $6,000 a month. Not bad. But wait a second. Here comes one of the problems if we do it this way. There's a beautiful boat for sale. $30,000. A nice car for $30,000. A new home for $250,000. And all these things right now, you can buy a car right now on 7 years. You can buy a house on 25 years. You can buy a business on 8 years of a loan. And everything else, a boat is also 15 to 20 years because they 240 months to pay it. So right away we're in a jam. So we buy a house, a car, a boat at 24 years old, and we owe more money than we can afford. But wait a second. The minute we make that first child, we got an extra $500 coming in. and we make the second child, we got another 500 coming in. So we got 2 children, a wife, and a father. 4 people now, 2,000 a week, 8,000 a month. If you can't live on 8,000 a month, something's wrong. Now, this is the basic of it is, okay? Now, education, who ends up paying for that? How does that work? Who decides on what we learn? Okay, well, obviously, we are the people. And the only way to really do this is we must pass out surveys and notices so that we can see the differences. We can't scream. What happens if we have in one school, we're all American, right? Well, I'm Canadian, but imagine if we had all the Arabs in a school, 50% Arabs, 50% American. What do you teach in history? Do you teach your history or their history? The basic thing in history, history has no name. It's his story, his Tory history. Tory. That's the way it works. We take no sides. The minute we separate our skin, our sex, we are now divided between the 2 sides. What do? Now I'm going to jump back. Did you see what they did in one of the wars? They were throwing all throw them all that heroin stuff down there over in China, and the warriors will do it because they weren't really, I mean, when the war